And we are live. Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. Sorry, I'm singing a bit with hay fever again tonight. Sorry that I'm a bit late. The power did come on a bit later now, so it's good to see you all. Thank you for joining me on this late edition of a stream. Hope you're all doing well. I don't seem to have anybody in panel tonight. PJ did say he's going to be here later, so we'll see what's going to happen, see if he shows up. So yeah, hope you guys all doing well. How you guys doing tonight? Let's see who's in chat. Let's see. Okay, but before we see who's in chat, let's just quickly check the poll. We got 31 votes, guys. Is space travel based on suggestibility? See, I spelled it right, guys. 48% say yes. No, 52%. I have no idea, 0. I think so, 0. Oh, it's actually very telling that it's almost like 50-50. Obviously, the people that say no is the people that believe space to be real. So that's quite telling, because it's weird. If you guys have watched my premiere tonight, it was about are you suggestible? So you would understand what it means to be suggestible. So yeah, I just want to say thank you to people that did watch it. Thank you for everybody for your support, and it's good to see you guys here. Okay, so we got Unlimited Hangout. Thank you for coming. Charlie Girl, the Keyring of Razalin, Moxie, Face Reality, Hey Godzilla, Mike Zudunik, Jess Palmer, Better Than Gold, Identity Verification, Cosmic Guru, and Alan Nordstrand. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming in. Already said Jess Palmer, yeah. I think that's everybody that I see there in the chat. Carl Apple, hey. Good to see you. Dankie dat jy gekom het, meneer. Yeah, and that's it. So thank you for being here. Tonight we're going to be doing, going a bit through Space Cadet and space, obviously. I do think that space is literally based on suggestibility. Excuse me. I don't know what it is with the hay fever. It's just at night. It's crazy. Anyway, hi Mike Zugnik. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, you can get a mod. So, did you guys understand what the whole suggestibility argument is? I hope so, because it's quite simple. If you are able to just accept every space story that comes out there because it just goes with the consensus and the narrative, then you are considered suggestible. Everything about space is considered suggestible because it's not anything that you can validate for yourself. You're simply taking it because of what is taught to you, what's shown to you, and what's presented to you from a young age and from the media and so on. So I would say yes, you are suggestible. If you're believing, like today I was reading an article about the Roadster, that the Tesla Roadster that was shot up from Musk into space. You must read that article. It's insane. They can't show where it is, but they can calculate its trajectory, and it's somewhere close to the sun at the moment. That's insane. You're telling me they cannot go and actually show you the car that's been shot into space, sorry, a Roadster, but they can calculate its position and not actually know if it's still there or not. What does that tell you guys? It just tells you it's a story that's made up, but people are still going to believe that there's a Roadster floating around in the vacuums of space, even though it goes against natural law. But yeah, I thought let's go through the whole Space Cadets series because that's actually what got me through to trying to get to explain this thought pattern. I don't know if any of you know about Space Cadets or what's going on, but please sit back and enjoy. This is episode 1 of 1.
Space, the final frontier. Man has been travelling here since the 60s. All of them brave voyagers, highly trained astronauts, not everyday people, until now. Our mission, to take ordinary members of the public, put them through a rigorous training regime on an isolated Russian military base, and then blast them off into space. Or so they'll think. Unbeknownst to them, they'll never actually leave UK soil.
Yes, so like they say, they won't actually leave the UK soil. So they are literally put through training camp and everything, and they are fooled into believing they're going to a place that they cannot actually go. Now, that's my whole argument. Don't you think it's possible that a lot of the people today are these type of people? Because they fed a narrative, they believe it, they want it to happen so much that they will just accept it, even though it's impossible to happen. So they would ignore every evidence against it just because it's pushed to them to go. The Keyring of Raslan, just think about the Space Cadets thing. They could have done it the other way around and fooled people into thinking the Earth was flat, couldn't they? How would they have done that? That would be interesting. Because when you wake up and you go to school, you can change the TV to anything that you see on the television. What do they show you? The children's programs show space. You go to anywhere. You walk in the clothing shops, NASA apparel, space apparel, you understand? Everything has got to do with pushing a ball. So I don't understand how it's going to be pushing flat Earth. But it's interesting thought. No, but they could have done it the other way around and seen just as valid as suggestibility. Okay? But how would they have done it? Because with this Space Cadets, they literally took someone, they put them through tests to see these are the type of people we want that are considered suggestible, gullible people that would just want to see something to be that's not there, and then train them to send them to space. They put them in a simulator and they believed they were in space for 5 days orbiting. How would you do that on flat Earth? It's very simple. Flat Earth, you don't feel rotation, so how are you going to go and just say, okay, you don't feel rotation, so therefore no rotation? It's simple. It's not telling them anything because it's suggestible. It's just fact. There's no rotation. You tell them, okay, there's no curve. It's not, there's no curve. It's just fact. There's no curve. So it's a bit difficult to tell someone, listen here, we're going to teach you it's a flat Earth if it's not a flat Earth, but it is a flat Earth. It's kind of counterintuitive. But anyway, yeah, they're busy changing this old used Air Force base in Ipswich and to make it look like Moscow in Russia.
Scene is set. The countdown to launch has begun. Will the contestants even want to go into space? And if they do, will they fall for the biggest practical joke in television history? We're about to find out in Space Cadets.
Yeah, very, very simple stuff, guys. Will they fall for the biggest prank in history? It's very simple. I mean, you see this behind him. Later on, you'll see that the Space Cadets literally standing after they went to space, and they see this through the window, and they believe it to be real. What does that tell you?
Throw from Ipswich is in fact a Russian space training facility. Part 2, we must convince this same group of people we're going to put in a shuttle, blast them into space for 5 days, where they'll make history as Britain's first televised space tourists, when in fact they will be in this high-tech shuttle simulator based on genuine NASA blueprints.
Based on genuine NASA blueprints. You guys heard it, guys. Yeah, it's very simple. Yes, Kieran. Yeah. It's made to believe. Just like this. Hey, Spuddy, good to see you. Thank you for coming. They were made to believe this. So, how are you going to mimic something like this for a flat earth when flat earth is literally what you observe every day? It's a bit difficult to make someone, how can I say, deceive them about it being a flat earth when it is the truth. You can't, then it goes against what it is. So it doesn't make sense. It goes totally against what suggestibility is. By the way, guys, I do have a Discord open. If anybody want to jump in and give any thoughts and chats and stuff, it is open. Again, thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could all make it.
In this aircraft hangar here in that same field near Ipswich. Now, if they last the full 5-day mission without rumbling us, they'll each walk away with a bundle of cash. This is the most elaborate and expensive hoax in British TV history. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, to be frank with you, pretty much everything. But don't panic. If the whole ruse is rumbled, there is a plan 2 in place which cannot fail. 10 episodes of Jamie Oliver's school dinners. The rescue of our children's health, and he's on 24-hour standby for us. So, as you can imagine, it's been vital that every detail has been covered, and in tonight's show, you'll be getting a behind-the-scenes look at the extraordinary time and effort that has gone into making sure this cosmic adventure succeeds. The whole project began back in April and was labelled top secret. Event.
Hi, Derek Nelson. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, better than gold. Jump in. It'll be great to hear your thoughts on this as well. The point is, guys, they were fooled literally to be on a simulator thinking they went to space. Now, what do you think happens when the people like Blue Origin or whatever, when they went to so-called space? Do you think it's possible they could just be fooled, as they literally went on a simulator a few times to learn how to go to low Earth orbit? Literally to learn to sit in a seat and when to put your seatbelt on and take it off. That's what they learned, guys. And then going to learn on the vomit comet and all that. So you're telling me that they are not training to just sit in a simulator and be suggestible that they have gone to space. So yeah, there's no doubt that maybe they believe they went to space. In the meantime, they were fooled. They were hoodwinked. Just put on a simulator. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Hey Mojo, good to see you. Goldie and Daz Studio, thank you for coming. And Jimbo, hey. Oh man. Let's see.
The information about the program got out, then the ruse would have been ruined and the whole thing cancelled. So everyone working on the show signed up without knowing what it was about. Fake shows were invented to throw the press off the set. Contestants applied to shows that didn't even exist, and actors auditioned for roles without knowing what parts they were playing. So back to task 1, establishing a believable Russian space facility right here near Ipswich.
Yeah, there we go. That's one thing that also helps a lot. It helps to have someone playing the game with you that has to lie with you. So that's why they had an actor. Well, in this case, they had a few actors, but they just let the one actor go through with the final contestants. because it helps to have someone that's in the know to actually play along and pushing the narrative through with the people. So that's why you get when they say, how does NASA and them do it? Thousands and thousands of people have to lie. No, you just need a small amount of people to lie to push the narrative onto everybody else, because they're suggestible, they are just gullible, they will just follow it blindly. And that's actually very easy. Alan Ocean, I would jump in, but my bandwidth is too low, hotspotting off my phone. No stress, mate, but it's good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you can make it. Oh, sorry, my eyes are watering and everything. Keyring, yep, I bet it would have been a lot harder if they'd been left to their own devices. Yeah. It's very simple stuff. Hillary M, if it's fake, how come we went to the moon and have ISS? You see, guys, Hillary M just literally validated everything I've just said. You're suggestible. You believe the moon landings were real. You believe they went to the moon and to space. You believe the ISS is real to be said. Just why? Because you are suggestible to believe so. Let's go look at the definition of suggestible quickly. My wife asked me how? My wife asked me, so when are you going to fix it? I said, but I fixed the spanning last night live. She says, but isn't it suggestible? Yeah. You see, she also thought it was table. And so gave a weird look at me when she said, but no, this is the spanning. It's good to know, so it's not just me. Okay, so open to suggestion, easily swayed, a suggestible client would comply. So it's very simple. Moxie, yeah, 2005 I watched it when it aired and was an interesting show. It is an interesting show for sure. Goldie says, I literally worked with a grown man excuse me, of 50 years of age who made the classic argument for having been to the moon that his uncle made some obscure part in NASA equipment. You see, that's the part of the suggestibility argument. How do you think they got the moon landings to work? They compartmentalized it and they brought everybody together to work on it. So this person created a chip or something, or a model. This person supplied the bolts. This person painted this part of it, or this person supplied the metalwork. Every person supplied something or worked something on it. So it's this huge conglomerate of project which is compartmentalized. And because you're suggestible, listen here, it has to be real, because I worked on that space rocket that's going to space. So therefore, ignoring you cannot go to space, ignoring that it violates natural law, ignoring that everything about it just doesn't work, but because I worked on it, or I know someone that worked on it, a part of it, therefore it makes it real. It overrides every single piece of evidence that it's impossible to happen, because you are what? Suggestible. Now, like I said, you literally get people on the inside that do know it's wrong, and they literally go and lie. Hence you get astronauts that lie. That's why we can literally show videos where they're faking it, where you get interviews like Buzz Aldrin literally saying they never went, or a tweet that he sent. I mean, this is like 5 years ago, saying he literally had a tweet from his actual page on Twitter stating that they never went to the moon, and he couldn't lie about it anymore. It was taken down literally almost instantly, but luckily you still got people that saved it. You see, that's the problem. You still get people that have to lie and push it. It doesn't make everybody a liar, it just makes them suggestible. It makes them gullible. It just makes them blind followers for the faith. Let's carry on.
Star City, the Russian base that has trained every cosmonaut to blast into space. We had to replicate this before any chance of convincing our cadets they were at a real space camp.
Yeah, so they had to go to Moscow, obviously, do their homework, say, okay, this is how it looks, blah, blah, blah. Now we have to go and replicate it to make it as authentic as possible for the people that we are trying to fool. Hey, Mr. Schooler, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Now, we all know the technology today is much more digital than it was in the days of probably Space Cadets. Don't you think it's possible that they literally just get people into a simulator and then they have almost like an augmented reality experience? I mean, a few years ago they had people climbing into an aeroplane, and the windows are not real. The windows are just screens, television screens, and they were shown traveling by flying, but they never left the ground. They literally believed they were flying an aeroplane, but they never left the ground because the screens as the windows were showing them to fly. So they looked outside, what they believed to be looking outside, but there was nothing. They were just looking at television screens. It's very simple stuff. It's too easy to be able to fool someone today to make them believe they've gone to space. So now let's just take, for instance, no, who was those guys that went? Dude Perfect. There we go. Dude Perfect go to space. And he literally claims in there, obviously I can't put sound or anything right now because I actually got copyright strike the last time I just had any of this playing. And I never had, like, actually nothing. I just showed a piece and I said, look, it's fake, so I'm not going to be able to play it, nothing. I mean, now they've set up their rig and everything. All they need to do is have this cockpit, have the people in there. They're so used to being in a simulator because they literally shot them in a simulator. There we go. Climbing in the simulator for training. Okay, these guys are just making the fun, training him. But see, astronaut in the training. Why would you need a simulator to train people to just go up in a rocket? Yeah, Dude Imperfect, thank you, Faciality, for coming. It's good to see you, mate. Arturu, hey, good to see you. It's hard to become an astronaut. Yes, definitely hard to become an astronaut. Most of the times the people become Masons because it helps to get them through. Yeah, I feel sorry for them because one day they have to face God. Imagine standing there before God and saying, yeah, I fooled a lot of people to believing against you. against your cosmology, against your word, calling you a liar. Cristofetti can speak Italian, English, German, French, Russian, and Chinese. Okay, good for him. Hi, Effie Nation. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. It's good to see you. Yeah, we have not had any deathbed confessions or confessions left behind in their wills or anything. Is that so, Death of Kieran? Okay. Warner Bron. Psalms 19:1. And the heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech, right after right display knowledge. There is no speech in our camp. Obviously not international. I want to go to Bible Hub. Okay. There we go. The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies display his craftsmanship. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the skies declare his craftsmanship. I actually want to look for special translations, but anyway. Oh, getting hot. But they literally talk about the firmament. There we go. Heaven makes heard the glory of God, and the firmament shows the work of his hands. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims the work of his hands. That's a confession if it's not anything, because he's literally talking about the firmament. I mean, that's King James Version. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. That's a confession. And if you have people like Buzz Aldrin that's still alive, and he's now been seen as senile because he literally says we never went to the moon, that's a confession. Remember, he's getting very old. The guilt is eating him up. So, the key ring, he says, how on earth does this prove anything all about NASA's fakery? Now you're really clutching at straws. What's clutching at straws? Literally showing you to be suggestible, and the reason you are getting so triggered about this is because you literally are suggestible. You're defending known liars. I mean, how much more must we show NASA to be fake? There's so much fake NASA nonsense. I mean, they literally even have to keep, when you search on search bar, that they have to keep the NASA conspiracy alive by showing the actual pushed narrative that it is real, and everybody that goes against it is just dumb. Okay, let's carry on with the video.
It was a tough task. But at the heart of the English countryside, we found just what we needed.
Yeah.
A decommissioned military base from the Cold War.
Oh.
As you can see, there were similarities. But the producers believe their site looked better than the Russians. Job done. The site was packed with all sorts of interesting buildings.
Ipswich, you see, that's, they literally took it and they just literally changed it to look like the building they needed to. And yeah, one thing I also got to point out, how do you know that there weren't confessions on people's deathbeds that just weren't released to the public? If they want to keep the story hidden and it's a lie, do you think they're going to release it to the public? No, they will not. They would still keep it closed. Exactly, the firmament is a solid structure. That's what firm means, firm.
But it needed to be transformed from a derelict airbase into a convincing launch site for a space shuttle. There were 4 major areas that needed a complete revamp.
Barracks, yeah.
This rundown building needed to become the barracks, where our space cadets would eat, sleep, and spend their spare time.
Now let's compare this to how the NASA astronauts do their training. Do they go off grid, you can say, for their training? Yeah, they literally go and they do training and be secluded to the real world, you could say, to keep the training so legit. It's exactly the same. They doing the same recipe with this as what NASA does with the astronauts.
The cadets would receive their training in the missile-proof building that used to be the base headquarters. The interior needed to transform into a Russian lecture room where our cadets could learn how to become space tourists.
Hillary M. If there's a solid glass dome above us, how does the rain get through? It literally, the rain's not even by the dome. Don't you know what clouds are? Really?
Mission control, the nerve center of the operation. This is the real deal. At the height of the Cold War, a nuclear strike could have been launched from here in 5 minutes. The cadets will see this area only once, when it will be filled with actors dressed as flight engineers and mission specialists, who they believe are controlling their mission.
Who they believe are controlling their mission. Exactly. And what do we see when we go and look at NASA headquarters with the flight? Let's do this. Fartimus 1.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good to see you, Lotion.
Keep going.
No, it's good to have you in.
Yeah, hope everybody's well. Yesterday, I don't usually tell people, but I celebrated my birthday yesterday, and that was pretty cool, being on stream with you guys.
Happy belated. If I knew, I would have said happy birthday. So you
right
say,
on, man.
So you say you're 18 years now?
199.
Well, time is relative.
Yeah, I'll go with that. The only thing I want, real quick, if they did all of this to an Air Force base to convince 9 people, what other places on Earth do you think that they've made a set?
Exactly. That's my whole point. But you see, this plays on the gullibility of the people, how suggestible they are. Because
if you can get 9 people to believe a hydraulic simulator, then based on that logic, then you're probably making the moon the desert. You're probably making the moon the desert, Mars the desert.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, the same people that go to moon and stuff, they train on Earth so much on different type of simulations that they kind of get brainwashed to believe it at the end of the day. They've done it so much that they think, oh, yeah, your brain doesn't click a switch. Like, it's a kind of, I don't know if you know MK Ultra. It's an old CIA thing. It's the same thing. They train your brain to believe a certain thing. So they put them through a process of familiarity. So they've done it so much times on Earth that when they say, okay, now you're going to really do the real thing, their brain is already trained to have the familiarity to think, oh, I've actually done it now. So they believe it. Just because they were trained to believe it.
Psyche is just, oh yeah, I'm doing this for sure.
Yeah, they're trained to believe it. And that's why you get the people that say, hang on, this is supposed to be people, the Mars rover, and yet I can they go to Greenland and they give the exact position. They say, look, this is look exactly the same as where they were with the Mars rover kind of thing. Because the people building the Mars rover are so blinded by, oh, I put this piece on the Mars rover or this and that. I've done the programming for it, therefore it has to be real. And they've actually went to train to get the thing to work in Alaska or Greenland or whatever. Then at the end of the day, when it's told them, no, you're actually doing it, they're going to believe it because they're conditioned to believe it.
And I think that they have that treaty in Antarctica. I think they all have their own little movie sets down there.
You never know what's actually going down in Antarctica. I mean, you get some weird stories from people that have been down there, especially independent people that have got work there at McMurdo and stuff. They say
the most recent YouTuber I saw was that Mr. Beast dude. He's the biggest. What do you call him? He's the one that puts suggestibility into everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Makes
remember,
everybody believes that he's making all these people see and giving out millions and millions of dollars, and it's just all a fucking ruse.
Yeah, but he does make a lot of money from it, Mr. Beast and stuff, and obviously he does do really good with his philanthropy channel as well. But
if
yeah,
it's real, then hell yeah, more power to you.
But like I said, now one of his latest videos, they went to the South, to Antarctica, and then he tried to traverse a mountain to name it. That was the whole video from it. But the thing is, it's also based on suggestibility. Is there any evidence that they literally went to the place they claimed?
No.
Yeah, it's just because it shows a CGI video of a plane flying to now a continent of Alaska, flying to the middle of it. Therefore, he went to the middle of Alaska. No, it's not. It's easy just to say that. Now, when they go in, it's the same when they take the, like the Venditki, that yacht race around Alaska. And you look at the routes and stuff that they take, all the people that always go and visit Alaska, it's literally off the Ross Ice Shelf and stuff. It's on the edges of Alaska. It's never in the middle of Alaska. No one travels through the middle. It's so easy just to say they've gone there. In the meantime, they're not literally there. I can change my backyard to look like a oasis if I wanted to, in the desert, if I wanted to. Does it literally mean I'm in the desert? No, I've just made a set to make it look that way.
Yeah, you could just go snowboarding on a regular hill and say, oh, well, I'm in Antarctica snowboarding, guys. This is awesome.
Exactly. Face Reality, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Jeff Bozo the Clown should only send up flat earthers. You see, that's an interesting one, because a lot of the time, I'm sure you get this as well. Why don't you flat earthers just get accepted a ride to go up to space? Then you would believe it. No. The reason we say it's rubbish is because they can literally just put you onto a simulator. Like I'm explaining, the windows aren't real. It's just TV screens or whatever. They put you through the training to make you believe that you're going to space now. Are you literally going? No, you're in a simulator that you are conditioned to think you're going to a place that you have not gone. It's very easy to make someone believe they go to a place that they cannot. It's simple.
I'll tell you one thing about lying to people, especially from the point of view of them lying to everybody. The amount of money that you get to promote a lie is ridiculous amount. It's ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they would rather spend $16 million to convince you of a lie rather than give you a couple pictures and be like, yeah, you're right.
I'm just gonna get.
And then who do you think all that money comes from? You know what I'm saying? That's why anybody who's pushing suggestibility onto somebody is super well paid.
Yeah, but I mean, also remember when I was bringing up the Satelloons argument a few nights back? It's the same thing. If they had to choose balloons that cost, let's say, $300,000 compared to a satellite which cost $11 billion, and then they still have to get it up to space, which is another few $100 million. Which
What's
one?
hilarious about that too is that a weather balloon you can buy for $75 that can go up 100,000 feet. You can buy these. A few motors to direct it. What? Few $100s. One of these things costs what? You need aluminum, some tin foil.
Yeah, but I mean, with
None of
the,
this
with
shit's
their
expensive.
weather balloons is built with different balloons inside of balloons and regulators and all that, so they can keep it up for prolonged times. So that's why
Right,
it's
when I
that.
heard
But
they can keep them up for a year, that
Yeah.
just makes their argument.
Exactly, but I mean, it just makes a satellite obsolete. If you're a businessman and someone comes to you and say, okay, I can give you this product and this product, but this product is 5% the cost of this product and it does the same job. Which do you think the businessman's going to take? He's going to take the cheaper one, of course. And now you get the people that's greedy is going to say, yeah, okay, let's take the cheaper product, but we're going to still push that we're using the more expensive product. You get it?
And that's how basically a pharmaceutical salesman works.
And that's NASA for you. That's space agencies. They sell you
And
a
the
magic
medical
show.
agencies.
Yeah, they sell you a magic show. Speaking of that, I think I got it. Yeah.
I really hate to admit this, but when I used to live in a place called Rochester, Michigan,
Yeah.
there's a Pfizer. I wanted to be a pharmaceutical salesman when I was like 16 years old because I wanted to start making my own medication with marijuana, right?
Yeah.
And kind of going around with that. And then when I got into it on what the things that they were trying to make me suggestible for when I was in school,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. This is just lying to everybody.
Yeah.
You end up killing they end up killing thousands of people because of that suggestibility. You might as well be convincing everybody with the vaccines, hey, you need this. You need this. You're gonna need this. And how many times do they tell you that a day?
Yep. I got a video up now from Michio Kaku. It's from his side, guys. So yeah, I can't do any cherry picking or anything. Thank you, Pete, for sending this video to me. I actually wanted to show it, actually, to be honest. But it's good to see the link. Okay, I'm going to quickly play it.
There is a crisis in cosmology.
It's very soft, though. I wonder if I can go get the YouTube. I'm going to try and download it rather so I can put it louder. Because it does say it. There's a crisis in cosmology. You know that one, correct? We're saying how wrong their maths doesn't even work out. Let's see.
There is a crisis in cosmology. Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120. That is 1 with 120 zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
Yep, thank you. Hi, Derek. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you are here. Yeah, you could hear that, correct? I know it was a bit soft, guys, but you get what he was saying. He's literally saying how bad the factors is for the globe, and yet the people still push it. I mean, doesn't that tell you that it's just wrong? The crisis in cosmology. So, where were we, Lucian? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's out. Guys, Lotion is not here. Thank you for coming in anyway, Lotion. It was good to have you aboard. I mean, we can literally go look at so much things and just laugh at it. Because space is fake. Literally. Let's see.
No, still am just. It's the delay that I just watch the stream and then I'll come back to the chat.
Okay. Could you at least hear what was going on?
Yes, yes.
Hey, Better Than Gold, good to see you.
I don't really like that Machu Coco. Or I can't say his name. I don't even know his name.
Michio Kaku.
I feel like these scientists, that once in a while they'll come clean about something, and then the very next day they'll get like a check in the mail with a letter that says, just go with the script, please. And then they go back to the, like him saying that like, oh, the math is such a discrepancy for the globe.
Yeah.
And then the next day they'll get that letter with a check for like $100,000 and be like, yo, just go with the script. You're doing fine.
But I mean, like, Michio Kaku, he's actually a string theorist.
Okay. Well, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a string theorist. And he literally even said once he doesn't know any scientists today that use the scientific method. So then how the hell is how's the globe to be claimed science if they don't even use the scientific method?
That means they're just going on previous information and not doing any finding out.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas Larson, good to see you. Yeah, that stuff is flat. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, man. Can you hear us better than gold?
I just hear Neil deGrasse Tyson's name. I've said it before. It just drives me nuts. That guy drives me insane.
Hey, Flat, so can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear perfect. How's it going?
Yep.
Good. I'm not sure. I can't see anything. I just see you and something else. I don't know if you guys could see me or if you see my...
It's your logo.
Icon,
We just see your icon, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, what's going on? How's it going?
Good on yourself. Do you have any thoughts on this subject?
What's the subject?
Suggestibility. Are the globe believers just suggestible?
Well, I mean, it depends. Some of these people really believe, what they're saying.
Yeah,
the other ones, they just follow what other people are saying. So
yeah, that's what I said. So it's called suggestible because they are. I mean, from when you're a child, you get presented a globe. To everything, to school, to occupations, to going even to buy clothes, it's pushed on you, left, right, and center that it's a globe. So you get indoctrinated to believe it, and then when it comes to a new space story, like let's say the rover being pushed, launched into space, a Tesla rover, they just believe it because they're suggestible to the belief that they've been pushed. So that's why when a new space story comes, like Artemis 1 actually going around the moon and all that, they're just going to believe it, no matter that they're just showing them CGI rubbish, not the actual footage of it. They will just believe it to be real. So that's a suggestibility. They want it to be real so badly that they would just believe it.
I feel there's a difference between suggestible and following then, though. Because the person that is suggestible has been told a massive amount of information to convince them to go along.
Yeah.
Right? So they believe it. Well, if they tell their friend that's not, or if their friend that's not, doesn't have that cognitive thought going on, sees them learning all this information, they might not go along with it, but they might not know enough, but they'll just follow their friend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, just being around people, they definitely just go with whatever is saying, and whether they're afraid to speak out, I think the majority honestly believe what they're saying and what they're following. Is it suggestibility? I don't know, but Either way, I
Well-
can tell you from personal experience just being in a college class setting and also from debating a baller on my own channel. You know, these people do not know what they believe. All they know is regurgitation, is what the textbooks say and what the screens display into their eyes. They're brainwashed. I say it in the chat often, they're bewitched.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you watched my video today, you saw my video. Are you suggestible?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, and you saw where the one part in the beginning where the one test they did with the people, where they had a whole bunch of dots on paper. They were showing it to them. Now that conformability, that suggestibility test was just to see. They told them, okay, there's supposed to be faces on this paper that we're showing you full of dots. Now they were testing the people to say, yeah, we see the faces or not. So if the people would say, no, we don't see a face, then they would say, okay, they're not suggestible. But to the people who say, yeah, we do see faces, so they want to see it so badly that they would lie to say, yeah, we do see a face. And that's exactly how it is with the space. They want to believe it so badly that they would lie to themselves.
It's like a forced ink blot. Like, you know there's nothing there, but hey, did you see the face? Hey, do you see the spaceship? Do you see the... I feel most... You can figure out who is suggestible by them saying one thing.
Yeah.
The majority of suggestible people say it is what it is. That's the line. People say that it is what it is. You stay away from those people and you find out for your own. Like, it is what I find out it to be. You know, it's nothing. That's some bullshit statement I hate. Can't stand people saying that. And that's exactly how you know they're suggestible.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, really, really quick. Yeah, so I understand that. Yeah, they're definitely easily swayed. Like people who can, you know, tell you and swear that they see the C curve, or you know, the curvature when they're in an airplane.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
even this. I was watching something the other day. You remember the old '90s show called Unsolved Mysteries?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was in the States. It was big in the '90s, and it was just a show. Anyway, so they're covering this Jesus, this statue, quote unquote, you know, Jesus statue, this idol, and when it was made, they said that the eyes were open, and then now, you know, during some prayer, this altar boy said that he saw the eyes closed, and they're investigating it. You know, they want to believe so bad that the eyes are moving.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
not. They're clearly not.
They're
They showed a
not.
picture before and after, and it's identical. But you ask them, and they swear.
That's where it's moving. Exactly. Yeah.
It definitely is a technique of hacking one's brain.
Mm-hmm. Andy Worth said, so you saying that flat earthers are immune from being suggestible? Nobody's saying that. This is simply just to, this topic is simply, is the globe suggestible? Is it based on suggestibility? I mean, every day we get a new story on the globe happening, and people just take it as truth without actually being able to validate it, so they just accept it with faith.
News, media, Hollywood, music industry, you name it. They're all making you suggestible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what is making flat earthers suggestible? It's said to be rotating. I don't feel rotation. Okay, what's suggestible
what's
about
making
that?
us suggestible is proof.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what's suggestible about that? It's the fact that we're not feeling any rotation or can't pick up any rotation, so therefore it's not rotating. It's not suggestibility, it's just plain fact. On the other hand, with the globe, they believe we are spinning over 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Can you pick it up? Can you validate it? There's nothing to be able to you understand it. But then they would take something like, let's say, the Foucault's pendulum and say, oh, see, therefore it's true. It's called suggestibility. The Foucault's pendulum doesn't prove shit, but they're going to think it proves it. I mean, that's why you get so much people that's defending the moon landings, because they need it to be real so badly, because it crushes their belief system. So, are you saying all the astronauts are lying? You know what I mean? Why would they lie? Why would I mean, my uncle built this chair for the NASA astronaut, so therefore, yeah, space is real. You know?
Oh yeah, I have one. My English college professor said that I went to school with I forgot which one it was. One of the recent ones that's showing a picture, or he's using the P900, I think. And she said that she went to school with him in UCLA. I said, okay, that doesn't mean that space is real just because you went to school with someone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Gary Wabenga, hey, good to see you. It's like space is real because of association. That's it. Not because of evidence, but because of association.
Yeah, basically.
I met Hugh Jackman on set during the Real Steel shooting, and that doesn't mean those robots are real.
How dare you? Yeah, but I mean, that's the whole thing. It all just comes down to you want to believe it to be real just because you're conditioned to believe it. That's it. That's what the globe is based upon. Why do you think they're keeping it fresh in their memory every day? There's another story coming out, like, oh, there's this new asteroid discovered there, or there's a, how can I put it, this person's decided to go to space, or we found another inhabited planet on this place, or the new dimension story. You know what I mean? They keep on they have to keep bringing up the different story in the paradigm to keep the story alive. That's why you get so much.
That's why they suck.
Yeah, that's why they suck so much. That's why you get so much rubbish stories from space that we just look and we say, what the hell are wrong with you? I mean, look what I showed you the other day with that polar bear on Mars now, showing a photo of the polar bear, or Pluto with the face of Pluto of Disney. But the people believe it because it follows their narrative. Doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how outlandish and nonsense it is. It doesn't, to them it's real. So it just shows you they are suggestible.
Right, especially because it's on all the networks, so yeah, they're definitely going to believe it. One thing that they like to push often, and I just love seeing it, it's so funny, are the SpaceX rocket launches, that little pencil going up and down. You see the launch and land. I'm like, come on, give me a break. You can see right away that thing is not real during the launch. The fumes, the smoke, just everything. You can tell it's CGI and visual effects. And once it starts to make its descent, its so quote unquote land, it's even more fun. It's hilarious, like watching that thing land, and people think that it's real. It's just, I don't understand it.
But that's also the funny thing.
You should let people get closer to it.
Yeah, you're quite far away, and I mean it is. I mean, haven't people ever heard of pyrotechnics before? I mean, you get people that let's say Astronomy Live, that go sit from a distance and they take the video, or Regitoric, and say, see, it's landing again. But it's literally possible just to have pyrotechnics working and you think it's actually doing what it's doing. It's easily just a show.
I love it.
I think it's doing that.
I love it when it's about 500 feet above the ground, maybe 1,000 feet above the ground, and they're claiming it to be traveling at 670 kilometers per second.
And then all of a sudden, dead still. Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Not maybe per second, but per hour. It's like, no, you're not.
But I mean, look
at. Watching you go up in slow motion.
I mean, right. Look at those that latest ones with Wes Wally and them, where they're trying to show the rocket proving it's going to space and things. If you look at the rocket going up, it's first of all, it's totally ignoring the Earth rotation underneath it, because I mean it's going vertical and over horizontal at the same time. So Coriolis is supposed to be present. There's nothing at all. Secondly, you can literally see what that video shows me about the velocity of those things is a lie. Because it's so easy just to say, oh, it's at this altitude and this is the speed it's traveling. But go and actually look into it. Nothing's literally going that fast like they're claiming. I'm sorry. Something cannot go 17,000 miles an hour. But yet they're going to claim that, you understand? Why? And the people are just going to take it up because it's said on the telemetry data, oh, they're going 17,000 miles an hour. But when they're going that 17,000 miles an hour, it's CGI bullshit. You can't see the thing. So yeah, no, it's nonsense. Hi Mikey, good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
One thing I'm thinking about is just how the fumes, that the exhaust fumes that come from the rocket, that leave the rocket. Consider that, and also how mist is basically the same thing, or just smoke from a barbecue. They all act differently, but yet they're supposed to act the same, according to the glow principle.
Yeah, exactly.
So my big thing is with the ISS is the way it was put together. There's got to be screws in there, right? Screws and bolts and shit like that. Well, screws and bolts in between the thread, there's air, right? And if they're traveling at 17,000 miles an hour through radiation and debris, and there's a vacuum apparently above them, there's no bolt. What happens to the air inside the place? There's a the oxygen that's inside the space station. How is that space station not being ripped apart by a vacuum?
How is anything working like they're claiming it to work? I mean, I want to see people just falling all the time, constantly trying to work. I mean, that alone, just falling constantly, trying to do something, totally goes against your functions as a human. I mean, from when you start walking and crawling and stuff, you're not falling around, you're standing still. Now, try and do the same things that you would do standing still when moving. Let's say now, try drawing, for instance. Draw beautiful, climb on a merry-go-round and spin as fast as possible trying to draw. Are you going to be able to do it? You're going to struggle your ass off. No.
Well, that depends on if you're on the merry-go-round when it starts spinning compared to if you get on while it's spinning.
Yeah, but still, you understand, you were taught with your senses on a stationary plane while you're doing everything. Now, your whole life you've been doing stuff on stationary. Well, I mean, you're doing your mechanical work using a. Now you're going to space, you're falling at 17,500 miles an hour, using gloves that you can't bend your fingers properly. You're in a vacuum. And
that's ripping you from the inside out.
Yeah, you understand. It's like every kind of possibility is against you, and yet you're still getting it right. Like it's nothing. That's why I laugh when, like with the moon landings, everything they tried, like the LMs and stuff, to try and test on Earth. Look how they struggled to get it, even with the rigs, to get it to test it properly. Yet the first time they go to the moon, not a hitch at all. They're just perfect, landed, take it off, not a problem.
Fucking first try.
Yeah, first try. It's like expecting when a baby comes out of mother's womb, giving it 100, enough of vodka or brandy or stuff to be so drunk and expect it just to start walking straight away. It's the same type of expectability, understand? You can't expect that. I mean, if you've trained now the whole time on Earth and you can't even flip and fly a thing for more than 5 seconds because you're trying to mimic something that doesn't exist, like moon's gravity, and then all of a sudden, okay, let's go to the moon now, and all the tests show that you were crashing. Now all of a sudden you get it perfectly right, no problem. Come on.
That is actually one of their big tools. Actually, they have 2 tools for suggestibility. And one is that they're trying to convince you that Mars, that the moon is a place that it's for you. It's for all of us, guys.
Yeah, it's everybody.
It's for you to go and enjoy. You're going to get there. Don't you worry. So they start sending, people who just You know, the amount of training that an astronaut, I guess, goes through has to
Yeah.
be similar to what I went through to almost get a flight on an F-16. It's excruciating. It's exhausting. Most people don't even pass, right?
Yeah.
But then you get these 7 schleps, and you're like, oh, you know, they're top fit, absolutely 100% healthy individuals that are absolutely just incredible specimens of humans, and we're going to send them on this rocket. But those people, if they're not trained properly, if their bodies haven't underwent any of that stress, those people are going to fucking die.
Exactly.
At that G-force that's lifting you up, the G-forces that you go through to train to be a pilot are incredible. You want to die. It's like you kind of wake up and you're like, am I dead now? Did I just go through all that? And these people get off this Blue Origin thing. Oh, yeah, it was great. It was fun. What are you talking about, man? That has to be some of the scariest shit you can do. If you've ever been skydiving, that's scary enough.
Yeah. No, exactly. But I mean, now imagine skydiving and taking gloves that you cannot actually bend your hands and try and stick a bolt in a hole and turn it.
Oh, doing anything falling from that high is hard to do. I could barely take video of my friends jump, or when we were all falling.
Yeah, Travis,
it's one of the most terrifying things you can do.
Yeah, Travis, send the clip. It would be great. But yeah, I mean, you know how frustrating it is when you work on a car engine and you can't get your hand in anywhere. Now imagine sticking something on like a glove that you can't even stick your hand in or bend your fingers, and you need to put that bolt in or take it out. That's the same as they literally handicapping themselves where they're claiming to be, and they're doing it better than what they're doing on Earth where they're not handicapped. You understand?
And that's on a good day.
Yeah.
That's on a good day. You know,
What was
imagine in cold weather. Hold
Yeah.
on 1 second. Imagine in cold weather when you're working on a car as a mechanic, or not even as a mechanic, but yeah, just trying to stick your hand and fit it in somewhere. In regular weather, that sucks.
Yeah.
When it's cold, any kind of slip, oh, it's gonna bite the finger, or you're gonna pinch something. It's gonna hurt so bad. And these guys are up there supposedly in space doing this. Yeah, right. And then they're wearing those, enormous gloves. You can't get anything done. The most hilarious one is seeing those, those Russian astronauts, stab the heck out of that one. I don't know what it was. I was like, what are these guys doing? They're like murdering this, like the ISS up there. It was crazy. This capsule that was covered in like a tarp. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The
And
one
one
movie
thing
Rocket
really
Man.
quick. Yeah, there's some ballers in here who I just want to say, ballers who faithfully hang out in the chat are basically like, gay guys who go to straight clubs. It just makes no sense. I just needed to say that.
That is true. This video is no longer available, Travis. Sorry, mate. But yeah, it's the same. I mean, it's like a Muslim going to a Christian church and screaming Allah is God the whole time to everybody.
Yeah.
For what?
Exactly.
For what? What's he going to achieve? You understand? Or a guy that works at a Ford factory and runs into a Chevy factory and said, I want to put my Ford parts in your car. That's the same thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you just see everything that's got to do with space, it's just nonsense. It just gets more impossible by the day with everything. And because they're suggestible to believe it, they're just going to accept it.
It's kind of like a fake it till you make it with them.
Yeah. Let's do this.
But they ain't gonna make it.
Latest space news. Let's see. Latest space news. Let's see.
Oh, NASA discovered a planet that discredits all logic.
Previous Chinese spy balloons over US were classified as UFOs. Okay. A weather balloon now from China was classified as a UFO. First of all, it was identified, so it's a bit impossible to be unidentified. Yeah.
It's an IFO, or it's just well, we gave it a name now. It's a weather balloon.
Look at this. Intuitive machines now targeting moon south pole for delayed lunar landing missions. But they can't even just get people to land on the moon normally. Now they need to get to the south pole.
You know what's hilarious about that too is everybody's got these cameras and telescopes. If you're gonna throw a spaceship up there and going to the moon, we're gonna be able to see it with our cameras.
Look at this.
We'll be able to prove them wrong.
Yeah, but I mean that's why when NASA was asked to just take Hubble and point it at the moon to see the landing sites and the flags, everything, NASA's response was it's a waste of time. That was their response. Instead of just saying, okay, let's just show you guys once and for all, they're going to say...
It's a waste of all their money.
Because they're just going to prove themselves wrong. I mean, look at this. From NASA, the latest. 8 cool destinations that future Mars tourists could explore. What Mars tourists? There's no such thing as future Mars tourists. They can't even get you to the bloody moon, and yet you want to go to Mars. Now they're talking about cool destinations that people in the future to Mars can explore. You understand? Now they're showing Olympus Mons, which is CGI, literally. Then they're showing Tharsis volcanoes, CGI, literally.
Are you on NASA's website? I can't see
on NASA's website. Space.com.
Okay, go to NASA's website and look up the Sophia platform. SOFIA.
Okay, I will now, but I just want to quickly show a video. Yeah, from Growth Team. This was an awesome video. You saw when the ISS was going through the window of the space docket. Literally going through it.
Evidently was the space station, and it looked like
buffer. Why does it always have to buffer when I want to watch it? But I mean, that's weird. It's really buffered.
The space station kind of looked like the satellite that was on the weather balloon.
like it was partially entering into a window. I would like to play this next video clip from a different video. So
hey Brandon, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Let's restart this again.
In a previous video, I showed what evidently was the...
Okay, I'm gonna actually download it. It's gonna be much easier because this nonsense.
So just one thing. There's a part of the NASA website that says the Sophia platform. There's another website that says that the Hubble Space Telescope is located on the same platform as Sophia. So that's why I want you to look up Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia is literally actually the Hubble. That's the thing.
Sophia is a 767 or a 747 jet.
In a previous video,
yeah. No, I remember we were with Ricky from Boston when he went that says while at the stage, and when was it? There was a whole bunch. I mean, I remember when I first got into flat Earth, this was actually a big thing with Sophia and the Hubble. But we'll get to that now.
Sophia is what they use to take the frequency pictures, and then they give colors and frequencies.
There's literally photos of the Hubble Circle Telescope on Sophia from the side of it. That's crazy.
Showed what evidently was the space station, and it looked like it was partially entering into a window. I would like to play this next video clip from a different video. So this video was apparently recorded on the space shuttle. So I think the lower windows are the rear-facing ones, and the camera will also pan upwards. So apparently there's a large object outside. Take note of where that image comes to an end in relation to the windows. Here's a still image from the video clip that I just showed. Notice how the object outside does not appear to enter into the window frame. So here's some more video you may find interesting.
Yeah, it's fake, guys. It's fake. Thank you for that video. Okay, let's quickly go to NASA. Okay, got it there. Sophia. Sophia. Science above the clouds. Don't need music. There's Sophia, guys. Just the plane. Sophia is a telescope inside an aeroplane. Ha!
Heavily, heavily modified. Some fantastic engineering.
The reason we want
The reason we want to fly in a 747 at high altitude is... Interesting stuff. I'm gonna have to download this one as well, probably.
to fly in a 747 at high altitude is to get the data that we can't get on the ground at all.
Sophia is a joint NASA DLR mission. DLR is our German partners, the German Space Agency,
Yep.
and their contribution
is the telescope. Hi there. Hi, Dr. E. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Derek Bradley. Yeah, very advanced, eh?
Is a telescope. The goal is to learn more about the
Yeah, this was 4 months ago, guys. Look at that. Look what photos they're trying to take with Sophia. Now remember, Hubble is supposed to be in space. It's literally been shown that Hubble is just Sophia. That's it.
Yes. Yep.
That's all
And
it is.
sometimes you can actually, you can track that plane.
Yeah, you should be able to track it. But that's why I said, why don't they just point Hubble onto the moon, and they say, oh no, that it's a waste of time. That's why it's a waste of time. I think
They should, if the Hubble telescope is giving us pictures from 9 million fucking miles away, then 236,000
should be nothing.
Cakewalk.
It should be nothing, exactly.
The goal is to learn more about the universe by looking back.
Look at that. Now this is what Sophia is supposed to be doing. That's what Hubble's supposed to be doing, guys, but they're using a plane.
As far as we can to find our origins, to find how stars are formed.
to understand our cosmic
Oh, wow. Yeah, Alan, the problem with these trolls is when they get blocked, they play victim.
It's funny they want to know how we all, like, how we formed, like how a human formed, and what the fuck is birth?
No, I think you
How'd I get here?
you hatched from an egg. No.
Damn. Well, it was a sweet egg.
But you see, I think it comes down to Sophia was an infrared telescope. Yep, I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah.
NASA Sophia infrared telescope.
So what they do is they take data from Sophia, they basically tell it to a bunch of graphic designers, and the graphic designers come out with an image for you to look at.
Yeah, they layer it on in Photoshop and they color it with different structures and layers, and that's how you get your images.
Well,
Painting, it's like painting by numbers
Yeah.
on a computer. That's all.
they're reading graphs and frequencies. They're not reading pictures. A picture might come back with a bunch of dots.
Mokana, Hubble was optical. The problem is Hubble is Sophia. There is no Hubble.
I like when they have a picture of Hubble in the sky, right? And it's like, who took that picture?
Yeah. But that's also true, Alan. Sophia can film in all spectrums. They just change, they just change the filters, exactly. There is no Hubble, guys. Sorry to disappoint you. Okay, now we've got actual photos of Sophia. Do you think we can get actual photos of Hubble? Let's do this. Hubble telescope.
They'll give you pictures, but I want to know who took them.
No, I want to see the actual pictures in space. Not just this nonsense FX model. Yeah, background.
There's no pictures of it.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that. Agree, whatever. Sky at night. That's just a high altitude photo of something. I want to get bigger. There we go. That's supposed to be the picture of Hubble, guys. What looks more what looks more convincing, that or that?
Well, the artists are so good at what they do. They make things shiny and colorful, and humans like shiny things. You know?
Yeah, but I mean,
so anything that they come up with, humans are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome! Yeah." But
it looks like a flashlight wrapped in foil.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like an Airfix model, and then they just laid it under that photo that they took at high altitude. But now, look how high definition this is. Yeah, look how high definition this is, and look how rubbish this is. It's insane. I mean, look at this. Now they get this high. This is supposed to be one as well.
What's
now
that
look
flap
at
in the back? Is that like the door? Is that the
the door in the, yeah. But I mean, look at this. It's so easy just to take a photo like this, just at high altitudes or whatever, or a FX model, and just superimpose it onto a background.
That's retarded. Those little toothpicks, satellite dishes would just snap off.
Mm-hmm.
Another picture. Yeah.
What is the altitude that it's supposed to be at?
I don't know that.
It's the altitude. But I think Robert Bassano also had actual data that he took. Approximately 332 miles up. You're telling me that's 332 miles up?
That's how they get it.
Let's compare that to what the ISS photo is. ISS is at 403, correct?
Is what?
ISS is supposed to be at 403 kilometers.
So
Correct?
that's what? 260 miles? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't work in miles, but okay, yeah, probably. Okay. Look at this photo. Okay, look how much curve there is and how high it is compared. Now let's look at that. I'm going to compare them together. Oh, did I go out of it now? Oh man, sorry. Hubble telescope. Oh, okay, Hubble telescope, yeah. Images.
That's a model.
Yeah, but I mean, this is supposed to be. Okay. Now let's compare the two. International Space Station. Which one looks higher to you?
Let's see.
Yeah, it should pop up now. I don't know. To me, it looks like the ISS is higher. If you had to take it as real. But I mean, that's quite a difference. A whole 100-kilometer difference.
Wait, who took the picture of the Hubble though?
Yeah, it does look a lot higher. You're right. I see what you're saying now.
You see what I mean? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, look at the size of the clouds, the arch of the so-called curve. Come on, it doesn't even match. It doesn't match.
But you guys, who
This
took
one looks
those
closer.
pictures?
Who took those pictures?
Yeah. This one's closer. It doesn't have as much curve. This one looks further and it has more curve. It's just.
Yeah, but even if
those are made up photos.
Yeah, but even if you zoom in to, let's say, the Hubble from a close whatever, if you are higher at altitude, you're not gonna. It's not gonna look. I mean, look at that. It's totally different. Look at the size of the clouds. Look at the size of the clouds there. Look how small those clouds are compared in relation there. This is not at 335 miles.
Those are two way different perspectives, though.
Yeah, but you can literally see in relation to one another. This one is not 100 kilometers higher than this one. Doesn't matter what perspective you have.
But those are also made up pictures. Those are
all of them
images.
All of them are. Obviously.
Nobody.
Yeah, like I said, who
who
took it?
Nobody. It's made up.
This is an Airfix model, and then they just superimpose it on a high altitude photo. Even if those pics are real,
I made a photoshopped image of the Tesla car with me sitting next to the astronaut in it.
Yeah, and you see, but like I'm saying, I want to actually see if I can find that. There's an article. Tesla Roadster.
And based on those two made-up images, the one showing it's like whatever one's taller, I bet you that graphic engineer, or graphic designer got fired for those pictures.
Where is Starman? There we go. Where is Starman? We don't need to see any of this, okay. But where is the vehicle? The current location is 203,235,000, going on to 963,000 miles. Okay. That's it from Earth. Moving towards Earth at a speed of 6,722 miles an hour. That's over 3.01 kilometers a second. The car is 280,365,900,000 miles, blah blah blah, from Mars, moving away from the planet at the speed of 16,482 miles an hour. That's 7.37 kilometers a second. You see, now they're just giving you all these tracking data. Now tell me, why aren't we able to actually see it if you can track it?
Yeah, that's fine. Those rings look like the Looney Tune ring cartoons.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
If that car is in space, then that windshield is broken.
Yeah, glass.
There's so many things wrong with that picture. He has his elbow hanging out. Yeah, right.
Everything's wrong with it. There's the Roadster supposed to be.
There's probably air in the tires. There's probably air in the gas tank. That would be imploded. Half the car would implode. Half the car would be destroyed.
Yeah, I can't believe G-Zilla and Moxie, you know, like as they say, they're buying it. You know, they're actually believing this fish story. Crazy. They're over here. It's like, wait, they say, why are you talking about these pictures if you think they're fake? What are you guys doing hanging out in this flat Earth chat anyway? You're still here.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
But I mean,
they're trying to remove their suggestibility.
We're showing the stuff that they believe. So, I mean,
hey, they got a
what's the
video.
point here?
But yeah, there's so much wrong with this. So much wrong. Where is the Roadster? Oh, it's just a screensaver. Oh, shame. Yeah, I thought they're actually going to show us the Roadster. Because you're telling me someone can see, let's say, a asteroid or meteor millions and billions of kilometers away, but they're not able to see a Roadster that's bright red with a white suit in it.
No, I'm sure one of them saw it. They made themselves think they saw it.
Because if you really wanted to, think about it. Don't you think it would have been more productive and charitable for Elon Musk to actually have put a tracker in the thing? I mean, it's been a tracker or something at least in the thing.
I mean,
Why can't that thing have a camera on it the whole time either?
Believe that we're able to track this thing from millions of miles away.
Yeah, I mean, they put so much effort to put it into space, yet there's not solar panels on it with a camera or anything that they could relay what it's seeing. Really odd stuff.
They can barely get the weather right.
Really odd stuff. Let's see what the Tesseract looks like after 4 years in space. We asked an expert. Okay. Into orbit around the sun and SpaceX Falcon. Okay. 4 years have now passed since the Tesseract. This was obviously last year. Heliocentric orbit, and the video feed focused on Starman. The spacesuit adorned mannequin in the driver's seat went dead. That's a long time spent in the near complete vacuum of space, and as such, we were curious what happened to it since the fateful launch in February. Tried to get an idea of what might have happened to the car and its unforthcoming passenger. We spoke to Dr. Anthony Wass, Professor Extraordinaire and Chair of the Aerospace Engineering Program at the University of Michigan. He had concerns about how it's doing. There are 4 main hazards in space. There is temperature. No shit, Sherlock. Not even the paint alone is going to really sustain all that harsh environment.
Some of those materials that they use can't even maintain their structural integrity under those kinds of temperatures.
Nope. The seats alone would have torn to shreds. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know, they must have used some hectic stuff to build that Roadster.
You know what? Here, I'm going to start a conspiracy, right? With all the shit with Elon Musk, I think Elon Musk was actually a pretty legit dude. He kind of knew the truth, but I feel like maybe they killed him and put him in the Roadster and just blasted him off, right?
Now they got a clone.
A clone that's been able to buy Twitter and do all the other things that they wanted to take control of, rather than having Elon Musk in control of it.
Oh, I remember this. They literally showed a video of him on this rig moving with a space backdrop. I remember seeing that. Now, why would they need to do that if they put the thing into space? Oh. It's insane.
Suggestibility.
I mean, none of this would have... That windscreen would have cracked into 1,000 pieces going up to space. This dashboard, that plastic, that screen, nothing of this would have worked like they're showing it to be here.
And there's air inside there's air and on certain headlights they put certain kinds of gases in there.
It would explode out.
All of that would be imploded as well.
I mean, even the plastics and stuff has gases in it that would try and absorb out.
And then it would just shatter.
Zach, speed is relative.
That's like dipping to absolute zero or dipping something in liquid nitrogen.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, what would happen if you stick liquid nitrogen on that dashboard? It's going to crack into a million pieces.
And especially if it's enduring any kind of force.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Plastic in a very cold.
Because granted, sometimes oil, I don't know if oil can freeze it. I mean, at certain temperatures, obviously, but that's like super, super, super cold.
See, at colder temperature, plastics tend to be harder, stiffer, and more brittle. At elevated temperatures, plastics tend to be soft and more ductile. Let's quickly read. Plastics tend to have reduced chemical resistance at elevated temperatures. Yeah, plastic bearings can be particularly sensitive to wide operating temperature ranges, since plastic components will undergo changes in their dimensions, mechanical properties, and friction and wear behavior when they are heated or cooled. And you just saw how perfect that dash looked in space.
But it's a Tesla Roadster. It's amazing.
Yeah, it goes against everything that works. I mean, look how perfect this is supposed to be. I mean, that's insane. Come on.
I really liked Elon Musk for a little while too, and then he started doing all this space stuff, and I'm like, well, now he's just part of the club doing the lies.
Yeah. It's insane.
And I guess maybe they said to him, hey, you're gonna go with us on all of this, or else we'll fucking kill you. You know?
You never know what they actually have on him, you understand?
Well, they probably have made him do things.
Dr. E, yeah. Globers do hate geometry. They don't like it.
Well, Globers refuse to do their own math.
Or they do it on a flat earth and then claim it to be globe.
I'm just saying the regular person that
Yeah.
has followed the globe.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that. They don't even want to accept the 8 inches per mile squared even. And that's what their globe rhetoric dictates. I can't believe it's already 1 o'clock, guys. I have to go sleep. I've got to get up for work soon. So it was good chatting to you guys.
That Tesla car basically disproved everything.
Yeah, very simple. But that's what I say. That's why I say the people are very suggestible, because you can ask Globus guys in chat now. Do you believe there's a Tesla Roadster floating in space right now? Do you think they actually sent it up?
What if he threw it up? What if he did throw it up there to pretend it was like up there just to disprove all the bullshit?
I highly doubt it. He would be throwing his whole company in the water by doing that.
Well, he kind of did, didn't he?
Not actually.
Twitter and everything.
See, Godzilla says, because it's a parabola flats. Yeah, that parabola is very, very accurate on your model to up to 1,000 miles. No one does observations to 1,000 miles anyway. So it doesn't matter if it's for a parabola. The reason it's for a parabola and very accurate to your model means it's not a bloody globe. Thank you very much.
How high was the guy in the Red Bull balloon
200,
that fell?
Wasn't it like 220,000 miles up?
Maybe, I don't know, about maybe 220, not 1,000.
Yeah, 220 miles.
I wonder what he would have to say.
Red Bull jump. Altitude. It said he was 39 kilometers up. 39,000, yeah. 38,000, what? 24, yeah, 39 kilometers up. So it was 24.2145 miles up.
What did they say the temperature up there was, by chance?
Temp.
Because he looked to be moving along pretty well.
The launch of the balloon with bomb guarded caps was suspended below Canterbury. Balloon reaches maximum altitude of 39,000 meters here after 2.5 hours ascent. I just want to quickly see if we can get more information on it. Might help if I actually change to what we're seeing there. Okay. 4 minutes 90 seconds, reaching 1,357.64 kilometers an hour. Shush. Mach 1.25.
And how fast he was coming down?
Yeah. It's quite fast. And through our atmosphere as well, guys. Becoming the first human to do so without any form of engine power. Broke 2 of the world records with final estimate, yeah. See about 39,000 meters. 39, okay, record the highest manned balloon flight. He broke the record, the highest altitude jump. They don't say anything about temperature though. Various objects successful stratospheric jumps. Okay, yeah. So they don't really say. They're just concentrating more on how high he was, how fast he fell. And one thing they do forget to say is he landed kind of where he stopped, so there was no Coriolis, no Earth rotation underneath him. Really odd stuff. The jump literally disproved Earth rotation. So yeah, just want to say thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for coming to chat about Lotion and Better Than Gold. It was good to have you guys in.
Appreciate you.
Sorry we got to end you, but I've got to get up for work in 4 hours. So
yeah, thanks for having me. My neighbor's dog wouldn't shut up, so that's why I was quiet most of the time. But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so tomorrow night again, and another 11 o'clock show. I really do appreciate you guys. I actually enjoying this late shows. It's relaxing. Probably because I'm tired. We ended up having 92 votes. Is the space travel based on suggestibility? Yes, 50%. No, 47%. I have no idea, 2%. And I think so, 1%. So, yeah, I definitely vote for yes.
We might as well just ask people if they're easily convinced over things.
We can just ask them, okay, do you believe the planet Pluto has the exact same face as Pluto, the dog in Disney? Or is there a crater on Mars that looks exactly like a polar bear? And if they say yes, then we know they're suggestible.
I'll just say this. There's information out there that shows that there were some Disney animators a part of NASA.
Oh yeah, definitely. NASA has a huge FX team as well, by the way. A video FX team.
Oh yeah.
Something you'd think they wouldn't really need if they're taking videos and just needing to upload it. But yet they need to do video effects.
Yeah. And that's where the let's make them suggestible.
Yeah, Faciality, I'm a night owl like you. Yeah, I don't get much sleep. Doesn't matter how tired I am, I'm awake early anyway. So yeah. But thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything, guys. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. It was the last conversation. So I just want, the globe is, this is something very, I think you should take very, with strong consideration. Go and sit and think to yourself, are you suggestible? Because if you look at all the evidence, it points to yes, the whole globe is just based on suggestibility. And I think it's time to be honest with yourself and look at yourself and think, hey, hang on. Am I just being gullible enough to be suggestible to believe the globe nonsense? Just think about that. Well, anyway, guys, till tomorrow night. God bless. May the pressure be with you.